Hey there, my name's Clinton Dixon. I want to do a little video on marketing your RV rentals business. There's lots of different ways you can do it, and I'm going to present to you essentially 8 surefire ways to dramatically increase your bookings and revenue. I've been building websites for 27 years, been doing digital marketing for 15 years, and I've been in the RV rental business space for about 13 years now. And so all of the things that I've learned, essentially, I'm going to share several of them with you, and even some other ideas that we've never really gotten into, but you could do yourself as well. So let's jump in. When you're first just starting out, if you only have a small fleet, you maybe aren't ready to jump full in and create a big business. Maybe you're just want some extra money on the side, a little bit of spending cash, or you've got a unit just sitting around doing nothing. Uh, there's it's really easy now to essentially start renting out your RV. When we first started the RV rental business, uh, there's lots of options that didn't exist now. So, for instance, there's lots of different rental marketplaces. If you're familiar with Airbnb or Verbo or any of those types of um, holiday short-term rentals, essentially the same exists for RVs. One example is Outdoorsy. It's also Wheelbase Pro. As you get scaling up, Wheelbase Pro is a really good way to get going with that. They will provide essentially let me just pull this over here. It's essentially a fleet management software, and everything that you use with their software gets automatically put into Outdoorsy. So it's a great system. We use that for managing our fleet of, I think we have 21 units right now, and it's been fantastic. You can also look at RVZ or RV Share. And I think there's some other ones out there, but I would say those are the three biggest markets or the biggest marketplaces. So if you're starting out, you got a really small fleet, this is a great way to get started. Yes, they are going to take a bit of a percentage, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty cheap way to go. And you can still get a lot of rentals. So highly recommend looking into that. You can also throw your RV, whatever you have, on classifieds or even Facebook. Yeah, basically any way to get marketing, just get the word out that you have a unit that you want to rent out. Uh, that's a great way to get started with your business or just the extra money. Now, if you're ready to actually scale up and build that business as something a little bit more legitimate, you're going to need to create an online presence. And that's going to be a website, create your social media. Now, when I say social media, it doesn't mean you have to be super active on social media. It's a matter of at least getting it out there so it exists. You need to essentially create an authority for your business so that when people are considering renting from you, they want to know that you're just not a fly by night business. You're not just doing this for kicks. You are serious and you're ready to provide an excellent service. You also need to create your Google business profile. So what that would be, so let me pull this over here. What that is, and actually not just the Google business profile, but also with Bing. If you were to look up, say, RV Rental Denver, these are your Google business profiles. So you would create a business profile and you would get a chance to start listing in this space. So I just use RV Rental Denver as an example there. Okay. And then you can also start listing your business on RV tourism websites. There's lots of them out there that have RV rental directories. Now, if you're going to be more local, then you generally aren't going to go this route. That's more for because it's going to generally cost you money. A lot of times, the RV rental the RV tourism websites charge a fee to do it, and you may or may not get many visitors that way. It really depends on a few different things. Probably the biggest being that whether that tourism website actually gets good traffic, specifically for people looking for RV rentals. All right, now you're ready to scale up. You're ready to take your few little RVs and you want to grow that fleet. Now you need to get a little bit more serious to marketing your business. That includes potentially search engine optimization, running ad campaigns like Google, Bing, Facebook. By the way, I'm going to go through these in a lot more detail in a moment here. Running local media, creating partnerships, or doing email blast. So let's talk a little bit about search engine optimization. So for those of you that aren't familiar, it's essentially the work you need to do for your website to show up at the top list of search engines. So the first one here would be Cruise America, Outdoorsy, and then Road Bear RV Rental. So this is the first, I would say, RV rental business outside of sort of the big ones. This is maybe a more local one, but this is somebody essentially did some SEO or search engine optimization to get to this position. So, and the higher you get, the more traffic you get. So if you're number one or two, you get the bulk of the traffic, and the further you go down here, the less you get. Unless the options aren't great, or if they're not local. Let's say, for example, maybe you have Cruise America, Outdoorsy, RVZ, and people aren't looking to go to those specific marketplaces, and they actually want to look for a local business. So then the Road Bear RV Rental and B&B RV Inc. is going to be more likely for them to jump up. So yeah, that's essentially the SEO side of things. Of course, there's a lot more involved with that. For instance, you want to create, essentially to do SEO, there's lots of different elements to it. SEO, how do I say this? SEO can be extremely deep and convoluted. There are lots of different elements to SEO. The thing is the algorithms for Google and Bing, they're constantly changing, and it can be difficult to keep up with what's going on. But some of the basics that really haven't changed is what I'm going to talk about here in a moment. For instance, creating pages that relate to specific searches. So this is a little tool called SEMrush. Well, it's not little, it's a pretty big tool called SEMrush. And these are some examples of RV Rentals Denver and similar keywords. And what I mean by a keyword is when somebody types in a query like RV Rental Denver, that's what we call a keyword. And so looking and understanding what your market is looking for, like understanding what your market is looking for, or your target audience is looking for, will help you to create the pages that are needed to rank well in SEO. For instance, obviously there's RV Rental Denver. That's sort of your base keyword, but there's a lot of other keywords or a lot of phrases that people look for. For instance, luxury RV. Or if we come down further, we might see, there we go, travel trailer. So travel RVs or travel trailer RVs. Going down even further, sprinter RV rental. So somebody's specifically looking for a sprinter. Cheap RVs, if you want to be one of the cheap ones, that would be a good one. Here's another one with different types of classes. So if you got a class A, class B, class C, for instance, those are also things people are looking for. Mercedes. Further down here, I know there's pet friendly. That's another example. Yeah, pet friendly RV rentals. So there's lots of different types of phrases that people might put in that are looking for something very specific. One thing I want to mention is with a lot of these tools, you might see things like volume, which represents the monthly searches for a keyword. Even if it says 0, don't necessarily believe it, because these may still be getting traffic, and it may be something that you want to essentially rank for. But that starts getting deep into SEO. So won't go down that rabbit hole. All right. So the other things you want to do is as part of your search engine optimization is actually not necessarily SEO specifically at all. For instance, you want to make sure your website is easy to use. In other words, it provides a really good user experience. If it doesn't, then people may come to your website and leave right away. And that is actually a signal to Google that maybe your website isn't good for that, what people came to. So if they visited RV rental Denver, came to your website, left right away, Google may see that as, okay, that wasn't a good website. Let's push their website down in the rankings. Same thing when with your website, it needs to load quickly, providing a good user experience. It needs to be easy to use on a mobile device because a significant portion of visitors will check out, use their mobile device to look at your website. Also, make sure that you have geographical elements on it. If you have a location, you definitely should have an address on there. Well, I mean, pretty much all RV rental businesses should have some type of address wherever they're going to pick up their unit. So make sure that that is listed on the website along with a phone number. Those are elements that provide that local SEO component, that signal. Okay, let's talk about ad campaigns now. Running ads can be a little bit more expensive. You can spend a lot of money on ads, and if you don't do the ads right, you could be wasting a lot of money on ads as well. So if you haven't provided some type of message that connects with your users, or the landing page, like the page that they come onto, doesn't relate to the ad campaign that they clicked on. There's a whole bunch of different elements to running an ad campaign, but the big thing is it's the quickest way to get traffic to your website. Because as soon as you start the campaign, you could be getting clicks immediately. Essentially, it's a pay to play. It's going to cost you either on a click or for each time somebody sees the ad. So it could add up really quickly. And depending on where you live, depending on how competitive your market is, it could be really expensive. Or it could be actually really cheap. If you're in a smaller city, there's not a lot of RV rental businesses, like actual businesses that are paying for the ads. It can actually be quite cheap and definitely a good idea. So you can run Google ads, Bing ads, Facebook ads. Um, these are sort of your three big ones. I would definitely recommend looking at Google and Bing. Bing uh, is a smaller market share, but it's a good idea to consider it because it has been growing. And for our business, we get about 15% of all the traffic coming from Bing. That includes ads, and actually we spend a lot less on the ads, but we still get quite a bit of traffic, and it's still very notable, still providing us with customers. And then Facebook ads are another way to do it. There's lots of different ways to do Facebook ads. You definitely want to be careful because that can be a huge money sink if you don't have those optimized and going to the right audience. Whereas Google ads and Bing ads, you can have it so that it's only ever being shown. Now, is there one on here? There's actually not one on here. Probably because I'm in Canada. Okay, so let's go. Let's go RV rentals Kelowna, and there should be some on here. Well, maybe there's not many going on here right now. So it depends. It's probably the time of year because it's a slow time of year. There's probably not a lot going on, and actually you can see. Well, right now we ran out of budget for the day. I have a really small budget that we're using. We are targeting a few different areas, but at the moment it's not showing up here. So sometimes we'll show up here and sometimes we'll show up here, but basically we're showing up right on the search query, and it's only showing up for, say, RV rentals Kelowna. So we know that it's going to be well focused and it's only going to show to the people that are actually looking for what we provide. There's lots of things you can do with local media. I think a lot of businesses, when they're thinking about digital marketing, they forget about these channels. So one example is sponsored posts. And maybe you don't have something like that in your town or city, but for us, we have a couple different websites. Cast the Net is something specific to the BC area, but it could be that you have something else close to you and they may have sponsored content. For instance, actually, let me go back to their homepage. On their homepage, they will often have some type of sponsored posts show up during the day, morning or evening, and it actually gets a lot of traffic. This is one of the ones we ran for when we started doing RV rentals in the winter, basically snowbirds. And this gave us quite a bit of traffic to the website. It wasn't too expensive. Basically, one half decent rental would have been enough to cover the cost of it. So that can be extremely beneficial to look at sponsored posts on your local media websites. Highly recommend it. Other example are radio commercials. And actually, do I put that in here? I do talk about later. I'm going to talk about something about radio commercials later, but getting radio commercials, they're not necessarily, I wouldn't say they're as good as something like the sponsored post that I just showed, but it still provides that brand recognition and building your business, especially if you can find, again, the right message, something that really connects with the people that are looking for the RV rental. It's a great way to do it. Billboards is an option that I don't really like, and I don't recommend it. I'm just mentioning it here because I think it's something that people will consider. Uh, Billboards generally are more of a brand play, so to build the brand of your business, but it really needs to be a supplemental component to other ad campaigns. So if you're going to get really big and really scale, then you might be running radio commercials and sponsored posts and Google ads and Facebook ads and YouTube ads. And then all of that kind of ties in together because the more times they see your business name, your brand, the more likely they will actually look at it and think, all right, this is a reputable business. Let's go. And then you can also do direct mail. I'm going to get into that a little bit more. Direct mail. You can. That's essentially mailers sent out to different homes. There's going to be different areas that you can choose. So different neighborhoods, you can choose how many you send out, the style, like it could be a door hanger. That works really well for businesses like gutters. I haven't used it for RV rentals, but maybe it's worth considering. Uh, couldn't hurt, right? Especially if you want to try some type of promotion that's really going to draw people in. Might be worth doing. Creating partnerships is an excellent way to essentially get free rentals without having to pay for them. So creating a referral network is strongly recommended. So talk to tourism centers, tourist destinations. So if you have, say, wineries with campgrounds, or, well, that's maybe very specific to the Kelowna area, but if you have some type of areas with campground, or you have amusement parks or anything that might draw people into your city or the nearby area, talk to them, because there might be people that are wondering, hey, we want to come check out your winery. Where do you recommend staying? They say, well, you could do these hotels, or there's these RVs that you could rent as well. Those are both options. And so that can be a referral network that you can build. Like I said, campgrounds. If you have private campgrounds, it's a good option. Tour companies. There might be businesses that offer essentially convoy tours. So multiple RVs going on a tour to a destination area, and they may not have the RVs for rent, but they're essentially finding, or they're just doing the convoy. So they're running the convoy but not providing the RVs, and invariably people will need RVs if they go on the convoy, right? So talk to tour companies, and that could be a big source for RV rentals. Also talk to RV dealers. Not everybody that goes to an RV dealer is ready to buy. They might be looking to rent first before they buy. So kind of like a try before you buy. Um, that can be a great way to help promote the sales for the RV dealers, while at the same time them referring to you as well. So partnerships, and even other RV rental businesses. So for example, if you have only travel trailers and no motorhomes, and another business has all motorhomes and no travel trailers, they might contact, or they may create a bit of a referral network. Somebody is looking for a motorhome, contacts the travel trailer, well, they'll refer them to the other business, and vice versa. So anytime you can create some type of synergy with any businesses that will need an RV or has RVs, it's a great way to go. You can do email list blasts. So one of the best things to do, this is actually a really powerful way to do things and costs almost nothing, depending on the way you go here. Once you start your business, you absolutely should be collecting emails. So if you're using, say, Wheelbase Pro, you're going to have the list of all the emails. But if you're on Outdoorsy, you don't get access to those. So as they come in, as those renters come in, you should get their email so that you can send them future emails, promotions, whatever it is. You need to create that email list. Our list is over 1,000 people right now, I think. And we did a blast just this past month, and it was our second best ever month, even though it was in January. Nobody's looking at January usually to start booking. It's generally one of our slower months, but because we created a really good promotion, we blasted out to our email list. We've got lots of people coming in to book a lot earlier than usual. So it's a great way to go. You can run promotions. You can announce new units or add-ons or services to your business. You could also do camping information and tips. When in British Columbia, Canada here, the provincial campgrounds start allowing you to reserve sites up to 4 months in advance. So, for instance, people booking now are looking at some of the long weekends in May and June, and so they'll start camping. So you can start saying, "Hey, these are open. The campgrounds are open. You want to book those now, and then come get your RV with us." Recommended tours. We talked about tour guides. Also, if you have any types of certain areas that people like to travel to, in Kelowna, a lot of people head to Banff and Jasper into the Rocky Mountains, check out the hot springs, check out the beautiful national parks. If you have any of those types of really interesting or very popular destinations, then those are things that you can push out there. And there's different ways to build your email list. Obviously, past customers is a really good way to do it. You can run contests that could bring more emails in, especially if you're running contests related to RV rentals, camping, anything like that. And you can also pay to send email lists, to send 2 email lists of other businesses. So you could pay a tourism place or campground or any of those places. Sometimes they will let you pay them to send an email, or you pay them and they'll send the email for you. You just have to say what you want to, tell them what you want to say, and you go that way. Those are essentially the surefire ways. There's many different ways you can market your business. You don't necessarily want to take all of them. Oh, by the way, I remember what I was going to say. There are radio ads or auctions, depending on the radio business or the radio station. They may run auctions. For instance, Um, four of the four of the radio stations in our area are part of one company, and they run an auction, and they will provide radio ads based on the value of what you donated, and they take any of the money they take goes towards a charity. So it's fantastic for them. Provides additional advertising for us, and yes, you essentially will be giving away some of the rental revenue, potential rental revenue, but you can put restrictions on it. But the big thing is you're going to get radio ads somewhat for free just by letting some people use your RV. So instead of having to shell out, $1,500 of cash, you shell out $1,500 worth of rentals, and bam, it's good. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. It's a great way of getting lots of ads. We ended up getting over 3 months of ads running. I think 18 a week, 18 ads a week, something like that. Anyways, great way to do it. Highly recommend taking a look and talking to your local radio companies or radio stations and seeing if they have anything along those lines. Lots of different ways you can market your business. There's no lack of options. Don't try and do all of them. Pick a few, run with them, and get going. Now, if you do need some help, I'm happy to have a consultation with you. In fact, you can book a free consultation with me. Go to entityelevation.com/RV-marketing, and there's a form there. You can book a session and just pick a time that I'm available, and we can have a chat about your business and see if there's a way to really help you scale up, improve your revenue, whatever else you need. Web design, you name it, we can help you with it. Thanks a lot. Hopefully you learned a lot. If you have any other questions, you can always throw them in the comments below, but happy to help you. Have a great day. We'll see you guys soon.